Welcome to the Mom Founders Table. Pull up a chair and join me every week as I become your thought partner and help you lead to create change. I'm your host, Kelsey Kenry, entrepreneur, millionaire mom of three, and strategic business coach for established mom entrepreneurs. Every week, you will get tactical guidance to apply to your business, leadership, and life that will help you further your true success while also being invited into a new way of thinking and being that creates true freedom. I'm here to call you out and call you up, so take a seat and let's begin. Welcome back to another episode of the Mom Founders Table, and you guys asked, we listened, and you guys love the behind the scenes episodes. I totally get it because it's like reality TV. Like, we are curious individuals and we want to know what is going on. So the cool thing is that while today we are talking about how we are setting things up behind the scenes to scale my business to the next level, the things that we are doing are actually applicable to every industry and are actually things that I do with clients as well. So this is almost a fun little mini masterclass, if you will, on scaling your business, on the things that you need to do in the order that you need to do them in order to grow. So welcome. Thank you for coming back. If you are a weekly listener, please know that I appreciate you. I really do. I love being able to share my insights, share my stories, share what's working, what's not working, and just knowing that I can pour into you and your business and your development means a lot to me. It also means a lot to me how many of you guys refer people to my podcast. I love when you guys share and tag me and DM me and tell me your takeaways and your insights. So just wanted to give you a little love and tell you thank you for listening. So let's talk about what we are doing. So first and foremost, it is important to share a little context around the situation with my business and why we are setting things up the way that we are. If there is one thing that you should know about me, it is that I am always determined to figure out how we can put more money in more women's hands without tying their hands to more hours on their schedule. That being said, I also believe in hard work. I believe in effort for an exchange. And what I know about my clients and myself is that we don't shy away from that, right? Like, we are willing to do what it takes to get where we want to go. And that's the cool thing, is that there's no lack of drive or ambition. So where I am in my business is, I'm sure that you've been here before. I am at a place where I have had recognition around and reflection around the reality of what I do and the way that I do things is not only really special and different, but it is really impactful in creating some incredible change. And while I've always known this, I also realized that I was really limiting myself. But I'll tell you, in this discovery and in my own evolution, is that my biggest takeaway has been that I have been limiting my own potential to create change in even more people's lives. And so I think that each of us hits a certain point in our business to where we're either capped for time, we're capped for capacity, right? Because capacity and time are two different things. Either we're burnout, we recognize something's not working, and I'm actually in a really beautiful place to where things are working and it's time for me to expand. So that's giving you a little context of kind of my current state and where I am and my way of thinking, and truly like a vulnerable share of like my own mindset trash of that was keeping me stuck, was a lack of belief in myself to be able to do this on a bigger scale, period. And so we are over that. We have moved to a place, we are actively doing the internal work necessary. And this is what it's going to look like as we go into this little mini masterclass here for you, and how we're setting my business up to scale. So first and foremost, we are tightening up, cleaning up, just really fine-tooth combing everything in the back end of my business. So this means how we are utilizing project management. This means how we are doing client delivery. This means team communications. This means the project management and how things are being delegated. Just finding the gaps in any sort of processes, efficiencies, or inefficiencies, and cleaning that up. Because truthfully, you can go really, really far with a messy back end and a lot of dumpster fires happening behind the scenes, but it does eventually bite you in the ass. And what I've found with a lot of people, especially like once you get to like 1 million and beyond in your business, is that this stuff becomes even like the wounds are more painful because like messy systems or like messy team delegation or communication or delivery is going to keep a lot of CEOs really stuck in the business. And so you have to clean it up at that point. So I always am a big believer with myself and with clients of like clearing the clutter first. So we're starting with back-end systems, processes, making sure we have SOPs for everything, just making sure things are streamlined and efficient and clean, because there is so much stress and overwhelm that comes from when you don't have that. So we don't want to scale messy because it's just going to get messier, right? And when I am supporting even more people, I really have a very high standard for client experience, and we have to be able to hold that standard. So cleaning up the back end, tightening things up, closing gaps, getting rid of shit that we don't use, all of that kind of stuff, because it just feels better. Okay. Second thing that we're doing, really dialing in and restructuring and realigning my offer suite to be optimized for profitability and emotional capacity. And so, like I mentioned earlier, hitting a time capacity thing is one thing, but also there's energetic capacity. And so for me, the way that I serve clients is at such a deep level that while it is incredibly fulfilling for me to do that, it also requires a lot of my energy. And I'm very detail oriented, so I know like all the nitty gritty about every single one of my clients' businesses. And so making sure that my pricing is reflective of the depth and the detail, making sure that we have a incredible client journey to where people can come in at maybe an earlier stage and then ascend. These are hints for you. And also making sure that we are addressing people with direct pain points that they may have. I'm not saying that I'm releasing a sales accelerator to multiply your revenue, but I'm also not saying that, if you catch my drift. So realigning offers, knowing my emotional capacity, knowing the standard that I have for what I want to give and make sure that my clients are getting the best results. And then also making sure that with added team, we are still profitable, right? So every industry has like a profit margin that is an industry standard. And I like to make sure that we aren't just making more revenue, but we're actually bringing more of that home or keeping more of that in-house. And that is very important because that's how we build wealth, right? So restructuring offers and services, be able to serve more people, different capacities, better, higher, all of those things. The third thing that we're doing, making sure that my team structure is correct and can support where I want to go. So this means that some of the roles that I have we're reevaluating responsibilities. I'm having conversations with my team individually about like what they want to grow into, skill sets they want to develop, other ways that they can help me in client deliverables, in the process. And so really just empowering my team to take ownership of their roles, but also figuring out how can we fully utilize the team that we have, as well as me bringing on some more team support to delegate some things that are things that I know how to do, but also things that I'm doing for other people. And so when it comes to my own business, I do them less. And I know that we all have those things, like bookkeepers don't do their own books. My chiropractors will not get their own adjustments or will eat like shit. Like it's just the things that we do for other people. We are like, by the time it comes to doing it for ourselves, it is very hard. And so I am delegating some of those things out and bringing on a new team to support me in those areas. This will allow me to go even deeper into my zone of genius, meaning that I am going to be pulled out of my client communications, client deliverables, strategy for clients, development, business development, and CEO thought leadership for the business. I will be pulled away from that less. So this will allow me to be more on the business, as well as elevate client experience, client communications even more, and be able to develop incredible new services and offerings for you guys. The next thing that we're doing is, if you didn't listen to my episode about client retention, it is one of my favorite things to do. One of the things I am most proud of in my business is, obviously, I've done this for 14 years and I have never not been profitable. I have never had any investors come in. Everything has been self-funded. And I retain clients, and I have never had somebody who came in at any package in any of my businesses that did not renew a second. So retention and client experience is something that I really value and something that I'm not willing to sacrifice. And if I'm being really vulnerable and really raw, this goes back to the mindset that was keeping me stagnant, because I don't ever want to spread myself so thin that my clients don't get results, because that's not something that has happened previously. And so I have shortchanged myself in being able to impact more people. And so in order for me to continue to give great client experience, it goes back to the systems and processes that need to be put in place to make sure that client experience stays 10 out of 10, and having the right team members to support even the little things, because like building strategy for my clients is not something that my team can do, but they can do a lot of other things. And so empowering team to step up to help, and also making sure that we have the right processes, right templates, right systems, right direction, right delegation processes to be able to support client retention, and client experience. So this goes along with all of the back end cleanup that we're doing, but retention and renewals are excellent and we want to keep them there. And the last thing that we're doing is we're taking a longer term approach to planning for marketing and sales. I think in my industry specifically, there are a lot of coaches and consultants that are what I feel is like very reactive marketing. So they're just kind of throwing things out there all the time. And I am not that way. I love just, evergreen and not doing like launches every 14 minutes. With that being said, though, there will be launches and there will be more opportunities for visibility, for new audiences, for people to enter working with me at various levels. And so we are really focused on building the long-term vision for the business to where we're looking, over a year, a couple years out at this point, to where we can really see how people can come in and then stick around at least for a couple years and continue to grow and develop their businesses. So it's not short-sighted. We are really taking into account the clients that I'm actively working with, the conversations that I'm having. We're structuring things in a way to where it is a seamless experience for the client and making sure that we are always being ahead of the curve in terms of nobody likes a cash flow roller coaster. And so we're creating sales and marketing strategy that is going to allow for even more predictability. And in entrepreneurship, that feels like it's unheard of. And so while numbers will always vary, it allows us as a team to always know like what is coming next. And if we need to pivot or change something within that, we can, of course. But it gives us that long-term view that also provides confidence to clients of when they come in, it's like you have space and time here and we can continue to grow together. And so we're just making sure that marketing and sales strategy is really long-term focused, that it's really sustainable, that it is something that can outlast market changes and industry changes. And that feels really safe and really secure, which as entrepreneurs, again, we just crave that security and stability in our business. And so those are all the things that we're doing. We are making sure our back end is set up. We are making sure our front end is set up. We are making sure that client delivery and experience stays top notch. And we are opening new, advanced, incredible ways that we can work together and that I can serve people and create community so that people are earning more and working less. So if you have ever been in a situation where you feel like you're just too busy to even think about your next steps for scaling, if you know that as a business owner, you want to continue to expand and grow, but maybe you feel like you're already sacrificing your sanity and you're like, I don't see how this could be sustainable. If you feel like you don't really have a long-term plan, or every time you make a plan, it changes or something falls through, like, you're in the right place. Obviously, these are things that all of my clients have to do. We have to clean up these areas. We have to address sales and marketing and systems and processes and team. And this is why I'm addressing each of these things on a week-to-week basis. But what I need you to do now is that as a listener, you are getting the first opportunity and the first invite into my free masterclass. So I give you a mini masterclass on how to scale your business. And now I'm inviting you into my free masterclass that is called The Most profitable quarter yet. And this is all about what you need to do and not do to actually increase not just the revenue, but the profit for your business. So I'm going to be teaching all about what is working and not working for businesses right now, the things that you're not thinking about that you need to be thinking about to increase your profit. And it's not just about numbers, and so many more things that are going to allow you to scale your business, to increase your sales, and to, of course, increase your take-home pay, because what's the point in making more money if you don't see any of it, right? So we are going to link the most profitable quarter yet. This is, again, a free masterclass, and all the details are going to be on that page. If you can't make it live, you obviously will get the replay, but you do not want to miss this, because I actually just completed the slides and the curriculum for this week, and it's going to be the best thing I've ever taught. Hands down, it is packed full of tactical takeaways for you to implement right into your business. And I'm honestly so excited to teach it, because your mind is going to be blown. You're going to feel so supported and so excited about your business again, and so ready to make more money. So sign up today in the show notes. I will see you there. Thank you for listening, and I will see you guys next week.